So hi all. Hi, this is Namita Saxena, and today we will learn about the DDoS and a case study. We will see what is DDoS attack, and then we will take a case study to see how the DDoS attack in our network and how we can prevent those attacks and be safe from those attacks. Okay, so what we are going to learn today. So in this we are going to learn what is DDoS and DOS attack. Then we will learn what is a botnet, how it works, how the botnet works. Then we will see some examples of flood attacks. We will see the web DDoS protection, how it works. Then I took one example of one of the company who is providing the protection and the devices which it has and all. And then we will see what are the categories in the DDoS we have and one investigation on one of the intrusion. So these are the things which we will see in this video. So let's learn and see the very major and the important topic in network security, plus the cyber security. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you some examples. Like there are many examples in last year I can share with you. There are many examples where we have seen there are the flood attacks. Okay, there are the attacks. There are many attacks. And among those, there is one network security services. So in June 2023, there is one network security service customer and which has faced a record-breaking layer 7 DDoS attack, peaking at 46 million requests per second. Can you imagine, like there was a flooding of 46 million requests, which is per second. And this attack actually bypassed the previous record by at least 76% and can be likened to receive a full day worth of Wikipedia's traffic in just 10 seconds. So like this is one of the major attack in 2023. And apart from this, we have the airline attack also in May 2023, in which an international airline company has fallen victim to relentless DDoS attacks. And these attacks have resulted in prolonged period of downtime for their website and mobile applications, underscoring the disruptive potential of DDoS flood attack on an organizational digital operations. So this is also one of the very major attack in 2023. And there was one healthcare service attack also in 2022, where there was a significant web DDoS attack with a struggling rate of 5 million requests per second. And the attack aimed to disrupt the website of these healthcare facility and potentially causing service interruptions and impacting patient access to critical information. So can you imagine these types of attacks can harm to each and every industry in the world? Okay, basically there was a flooding of some packets, some traffic, and with those flooding, it makes that website or that organization unavailable to use. Okay, we will not able to use it because of those attacks. So the thing is, the high time is to learn what does it means and like how we can prevent those attacks from our organization, and also it will save very much revenue if we will save the organization with these types of attack. So let's learn first of all what is DDoS and DDoS. And first of all, we will see what is this, what is the basic difference between both of them, and then we will learn the further things. Okay, so first of all, the DOS is basically one sender and one receiver. Okay, and DDoS is one sender, sorry, one receiver, and we have the multiple senders. Okay, so the sender is actually one only, but it has created multiple requests. It has created multiple requests, means multiple requests with the multiple IP addresses and targeting a single target. Okay, so it is basically sending the multiple packets, you can say multiple traffic from the multiple IP addresses and targeting a device. Okay, this is DDoS. Means there is 1-to-1 and there are many to one, you can say. So in the DOS attack, basically, it is an attempt to make a machine or network resource unavailable to its intended user. If there is an attack, the user will not able to use this machine. So the major aim behind the attacker is to make this machine, the target machine, services unavailable to use. Okay, so it basically suspend the services of a host connected to the internet. This is the main motto of the attacker. And in the distributed denial of service, DDoS is distributed denial of service and DOS is denial of service. As the name indicate, it makes the service unavailable. It makes that service unavailable by flooding of packets, by flooding of packets. Okay, so basically a DDoS, which is the denial of service attack, basically it occurs when multiple systems flood the target system with traffic to make the resource unavailable to intended user. So that is basically a uh, DDoS attack. Here you can see this is a hacker and it wants to target this server. Okay, so it sends the packet with the help of a machine which is a botnet. Okay, it create all the requests with the help of the botnet, and from the botnet the traffic will goes to the server. In the DOS attack, it's like single request point. And in the DDoS attack, as I've just told you, the multiple system flood the targeted system with traffic to make the resources unavailable to its intended user. So there are multiple IP request point, and same IP request is created with the help of the botnet. So I think now you're able to understand what is the difference between both DOS and DDoS. Let's learn more about DDoS attack. So what basically is happening, this attack occur when multiple machines are operating together to attack one target. As I've told you, the target is one, but the attack is happening with the help of the multiple machines. And it basically disrupt the normal traffic of a targeted server by overwhelming the target or its surrounding infrastructure with the flood of this internet traffic. Okay, so this is what we have to learn for the DDoS attack. So the motivation for carrying out a DDoS attack has to do the types of individuals or organization who execute the DOS attack. So some attacks are carried out by a disgruntled individuals and hacktivists who wanting to take down a company server simple to make a statement, have fun by exploiting a weakness. So this is basically the main motivation of the hacker. And some other DDoS attacks are also the financially motivated, such as the competitor disrupting or shutting down the other's business online. So there are many motives behind those attacks. So first of all, we have to understand actually what is the DOS and DDoS attack. There is a one more kind. In the DOS attack, actually, in the DOS or DDoS attack, the flood is of many things. So one is HTTPS flood. One is HTTPS flood. So these bots actually create the flood of illegitimate HTTPS requests from a large botnet, and it actually looking like a legitimate request, but it's not. It's actually the spoofed request, but looking like a legitimate request, and it overwhelm the application server or the backend database, you can say, and make it unavailable to use. So the user will not able to use this server because of those attacks. So this is basically the DDoS attack. Now, the main question is like how you can identify a DDoS attack. How you can identify, this is very important. How you can identify, okay, some kind of suspicious activity is being done in the network, and those attacks are the DDoS attacks. So best way to detect and identify would be via network traffic monitoring and analysis. We should have the monitors and the tools which is monitoring the network traffic 24 hours and giving the analysis also of that traffic. So it should give the analysis, okay, this is the traffic, this is the traffic. And when we see, okay, there is a shoot in the traffic, obviously we got to know there is something which is irregular and which is something different, and we need to investigate what is those differences. So network traffic can be monitored via firewall, or you can say by IDS, which is the intrusion detection system. So an administrator may even set up the rules that create an alert upon those detection or the anomalies traffic load, and it identifies the source of the traffic or drops the network packets. So we should have the tools implemented in our network which give us the alert, and we can easily save our network from these type of attacks. So the symptoms, the symptoms could indicate a DOS and DDoS attacks. So we have these many symptoms. First, you should see the slow network performance. You can also see the unavailability of a particular network service or website. You can see the inavailability to access any website, and an IP address makes an unusually large number of requests and limited time span. You can also see 503 error due to some service outages. You can see the log analysis indicating a large spike, as I just told you, in the network traffic, and some unusual patterns which are different from the regular patterns. So these kind of symptoms you can see and you can detect, okay, there is something irregular, and maybe this is the DDoS attack, and we need to investigate those attacks. So first of all, let us learn what is the botnet, because I just told you whenever the attacker attack any server, so it sends the multiple requests with the help of those botnet. Okay, with the help of the botnet. So botnet is basically nothing but it's used to refer to the web of hijack computer used for processes like sending spam emails. It also it distribute the malware and framing the DDoS attack. So for these three things, 1, 2, and this 3, for these 3 things, we basically use the botnets. Okay. So botnet has the 3 stages. It prepare and expose, then it infect the user with the malware, and then it control the target devices. So this is the bot master. Suppose it has this command and control network. So this command and control network has the means it prepare the things, and then it targeted the device, and then it sends the malicious activities to the target. So in the malicious activity, it could be a spam generation, it could be DDoS attack, it infect the system with malwares, or it could be a phishing. So the process is like this. You can see here, first of all, the infected machine. Okay. Then we have the connection. Then the attacker make the connection with the command and control server. Then once it will take the control, then it will send the multiple attacks, or you can say multiple malware distribution to the target systems through email, spam emails, to infected website, or through social media posts. So this is actually a cycle by which the botnet targeter system. So in the prepare and expose, as I told you, the bad actor figure out the vulnerability to introduce into the user device. So in this, it basically figure out the vulnerability. Okay. It figure out the vulnerability in prepare and expose. Now in the next section that the botnet perform is activating the malware so that the end user is infected. Now it activating the malware to the end user and has compromised security. So the process of infecting the device usually take place by the Trojan viruses or social engineering methods. So basically here, the attacker is activating the malware. And then in the third stage, controlling the targeted device. So the last stage of botnet working methodology is gaining control over each and every device. And the hackers systematized the involved infected machines in the botnet, and it designed a methodology to manage them remotely. Okay, so in general, around thousands of devices are controlled in the process via huge zombie network. So this is what basically botnet does and infect the targeted system. Now, there are, as I told you, in the DDoS attack, there is one of the type is HTTPS flood attack. There are many tools in the market, available, and those tools is basically creating the DDoS attacks. Okay, so in among those we have CC, we have Sapphira, we have MH-DOS, DDoS, Blood, and basically we mostly always we block these type of tools. So with the help of these tools, attacker attack the targeted system. So we must be aware, and we need to save our network with the anti-DDoS devices, with the help of anti-DDoS devices. Okay, so now I'll tell you how this web DDoS protection work basically. Okay, so this is very important. Web DDoS protection consists of three main levels. First is the peacetime learning, second is the behavioral detection, and third is the mitigation. So in the peacetime learning, basically the web DDoS protection learns and create the baselines. What it create? It create the baselines. It create the baselines of the rate and rate invariant during a week. So the baseline learning is done for detection and mitigation attribute by using the rate and rate invariant. So the rate baseline refers to the, if I tell you about what is the rate baseline. So I'm just telling there are the two baselines. One is the rate and rate invariant baseline. So in the rate baseline refer to the request per second, which is the RPS. Request per second, in which the web DDoS protection learns the RPS patterns. Basically, it learns the RPS patterns, okay? It learns the RPS pattern during all hours of the day and then map them. The application behavior, rate invariant is basically the application behavior. So the rate invariant, the application behavior baseline, this is the application behavior baseline, refers to the application behavior characteristics like cookie, query urges, cookies, etc. So that is the rate invariant. So basically in the peacetime learning, the protection, the web DDoS protection, it basically learns and it creates the baseline so the created baseline as per the application, because each application has its own unique baseline. So during the learning phase, we need to keep this thing in mind. The module does not detect and mitigate attacks, but it continuously track and monitor the changing request rate of the application. So it's basically monitoring and tracking the continuous change request. Okay. Second is the behavioral detection. So in the peacetime learning, it learns and create the baseline. In the behavioral detection, the web DDoS protection can detect accurately if an attack emerges by identifying anomalies from the expected behavior in both rate and rate behavior baselines. So in this, basically what is happening, if our RPS is rate per second. Okay. So if the rate per second, sorry, it's the request per second. So RPS is the request per second. Request per second. So if the request per second threshold crossed, but application behavior didn't change. Okay, so this is nothing but a flash crowd. But if the RPS and application behavior cross the threshold, then it is the HTTP flood. So we have to basically, the web DDoS protection detect accurately if an attack emerges by identifying anomalies from the expected behavior. So it actually learns the behavior, and then with the help of that behavior, it it identify whether it's an anomaly or not. Okay. So if the RPS threshold crossed but the application behavior didn't, it's a flash crowd. Flash crowd means nothing but it refers to a sudden and unexpected surge in the number of users accessing a website. That is your flash crowd. And what is HTTPS flood? If RPS, your request per second, and your application behavior both cross the threshold. Now just see here. I have an example. This is the detection example. See, the request rate, suppose the threshold is 70 RPS. Okay. And if it threshold is crossed, okay, threshold is crossed, and if the application behavior attack threshold is 3 and the attack start value is 4, so we have defined the thresholds, and if those thresholds is crossed, then the system is identifying the anomalies from those expected behavior in both rate and rate invariant. So everything is depend on the thresholds. Now third is the mitigation. So first it has done the peacetime learning, then it is doing the behavioral detection, and then third is the mitigation. In the mitigation, web DDoS protection basically create a real-time signature up to 20 seconds based on the attack characteristics. So it basically create the real-time signatures. Okay, so it creates the real-time signatures that can be built from multiple parameters from the application behavior attributes for accuracy. It possesses the ability to tune mitigation in case of need. So once the so in case the attack changes the pattern, if suppose this is the pattern and we have seen the attack has changes the pattern, okay, the real-time signature adjusts the parameter to fit the attack characteristics in order to mitigate it constantly. So in the mitigation, so once the attack is terminated, web DDoS protection goes into the grace period. Now it goes into the grace period. And the grace period is the time right after an attack where the security measures monitor for lingering effects and take the follow-ups. So this is all about the DDoS protection. So in the DDoS protection, it do the peacetime learning, it do the behavioral detection, then the mitigation of those attacks, and then it goes to the grace period. So I think now you're able to understand, okay, what is DoS, DDoS, and what is the web DDoS protection, and what is the methodology behind the web DDoS protection. So what we will learn in the second video, we will learn like what are the things, like what are the tools, okay, what are the tools by which we can protect our network from these DDoS attacks. Thank you.